y'all, it's that time again. It's Math with Mrs. Peters, the crazy cat lady of Hiram High School. And today's topic, we're going to talk about actually graphing lines. All right? Graphing linear equations. There are three ways of graphing a linear equation. Method one is called the intercept-intercept method. Method two is a table or a T-chart, and we can use our calculators to help us there. And method three is slope-intercept form, which is our favorite form. Now, I want you to look at some vocabulary here, because you're going to have to be able to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about intercepts. Okay, an intercept is where two lines cross, just like the intersection of two roads. There usually has a stoplight on it. Okay, so an intercept is like an intersection. It is where two lines cross. Slope is the amount of slant a line has, often expressed as a fraction with the numerator as the, quote, rise, and the denominator is the run. Okay, rise means how far up and down you're going. Okay, and run means how far left and right you're going. That's really important. People talk about rise over run all the time, but they never say exactly what that means. Well, rise is how much up and down this we're going, and run is how much left and right we're going to get to the next point. Okay, so it's called rise over run. And this right here is our formula. We are going to get into using the formula later on. I just want to introduce it to you. That is our formula. It's a very handy little formula. We are going to use it later. Now, the important thing about slope is that we can find the slope with any two ordered pairs from anywhere on the line. Okay? That's a very, obviously I changed it in blue. It's got stars all over. This is an important concept. And the words rate of change is another name for slope. So if I use the word rate of change between 2 points, you better be thinking slope. Right? This is very important vocabulary. Now, let's talk about graphing a line using the intercept-intercept method. First thing I always want to do when I see my graph is I want to make sure that I label my x-axis and my y-axis. And when I am the x-intercept, right, when I'm the x-intercept, my y value is always 0. So up here, they give me the x-intercept. That is negative, it's the ordered pair -5, 0. And I can just go to -5 on the x-axis and put a dot. Right now, my other dot is at the y-intercept. When I am on the y-intercept, x is always 0, and they've given me my y-intercept of 1. So I'm going to go up my y-axis to 1. Now I'm going to graph that line, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to get me a line. Let's see, I think I want a line about that fat. I think I'm going to make it purple because I'm in a purple. No, yeah, purple. Purple's a good color. All right, and I'm going to graph my line. Now, the important thing about lines, right, is lines should always have on them arrows, because lines go on forever and ever and ever and ever. So I'm putting arrows on the end of my line, and I want to make sure it goes through my intercepts. And that's a really easy way of graphing. Now, if you don't have a straight edge, or you don't have a smartboard that'll draw nice straight lines for you, fold a piece of paper a couple of times. Okay, use the edge of that piece of paper as your straight edge. You don't have to measure anything. You just want something that gives you a really nice straight line. So, let's look at this other problem. We have an x-intercept of -5, again, an x-intercept of -5. That means my ordered pair is -5, 0. Okay? They're not always going to be -5, y'all. Okay, and then my y-intercept is 3. I'm going to use the same colors. My y-intercept is 0, 3, and that's what I got from here. So 0, 3 puts me here. Okay? And I'm going to draw my nice little line. Now, I want to make sure I have it go through those points and make sure my line has arrows on either end. Now, say I'm not given my x-intercept and my y-intercept. I have to have given an equation. Well, I want you to remember that when we graph the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. And when we graph the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. And we're going to use that evaluation that we've been working on. So I'm going to use my equation, 4x minus 3y is equal to 12. I'm going to replace my y with a set of parentheses. Get out my handy-duty, ever-popular little tiny eraser and see if I can't go in there and get rid of that y. And I'm going to put the 0 in there. That's this 0 right there. And I am going to solve a little tiny mini equation. 4x minus 3 times 0. Well, 3 times 0 is 0 equals 12. Okay, so 4 minus 0. Well, 4x minus 0 is still just plain old 4x. And I have a one-step equation, y'all. And I can use my one-step equation rules. So my y, my x-intercept, x is 3 and my y is 0. Now let's look at the other one. I'm going to use my same old handy-duty, ever-popular little equation. Let's do it this way. I have 4x minus 3y is equal to 12. Right? Where my x is, I'm going to put in my parentheses. I'm going to take out my handy-duty, ever-popular little tiny eraser, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to erase that little x. And I am going to put in x is equal to 0. All right, now I'm going to do a little bit of calculation. 4 times 0 is 0. So this is what I get. Now, what I really have is this. Don't drop the negative sign in front of the 3. If there's a sign in front of that 3, you better be keeping it. Right now I'm going to divide by negative 3. So y is equal to negative 4. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put in negative 4. Now I'm going to graph these. Remembering that this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. All right, and I'm going to change these to, I don't know, let's change them to red. And we're going to change these down here to, oh, I don't know, bright blue. And we're going to graph them. All right, so my x-intercept is 0, 3, excuse me, 3, 0, which is here. Right, my y-intercept is 0, negative 4, so 0, negative 4 is here. I'm going to get out that handy-duty, ever-popular line that I like, you know, the purple one, and I'm going to draw my line. And I want you to notice, do I have arrows on the end of my line? No, Mrs. Peters does not have arrows on the end of the line, so what do you think she's going to do? She's going to pull out her arrow maker and put arrows on it. And I have my line graphed by intercepts. Now, that's the end of the lesson today. But what you need to do is you need to write down any questions you have. You know, I'm going to give you a worksheet with some problems on it to practice. And bring your questions to class and I'll answer them. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye.